Yo, 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 back again. It's all pretty and nice outside. I think we should work on that exhaust right there. Damn, that was backwards and I got it perfect. Go, let's go. All right, so I've port matched with the gasket on the flange of what it should be and what it isn't. As you see, there's much material to take off. So I say let's get started. I've got the vise mounted, as you saw in the last video. It's awesome. I should have bought it a long time ago. Harbor Freight, 30 bucks. Some other stuff I got. This is from Northern Tools. I explained in the other video. Some carbide bits. I also got this from Harbor Freight. Just cheap little stone bits. It was like 7 bucks or something. I got my air grinder. I'm going to put it on the air. And I'll bolt this thing down on the vise. And we'll get started on kind of port matching it a little bit and see if we can't make it a little closer to what it should be. Let's get cracking. All right, you can see that I kind of already got some good little port work done there. It's not perfect. I just stopped because my compressor ran out of air. And I kind of just took a piece of scrap pipe and started bending. I pinched it in the vise, and then I just kind of hammered it over here on the other side of the vise where the anvil is here, and just kind of squared it off a little. But you can see here that, I mean, I did this in like 2 minutes with the vise, trying to squeeze it into shape, and it's pretty damn close. You know what I mean? It's not perfect, but damn, pretty close. So, you know, I'm going to keep working away with the carbide bit here. It works great. It's slow, so don't get thinking you're going to get this done quick. It ain't going to happen. It only goes so fast before you run out of air. And I got a decent sized compressor, so still runs out of air. So take your time. Don't get in a rush. All right, after a lot of grinding and beating with the air chisel, not the air chisel, the air grinder here, with every bit that I had, just trying different ones, switching them up, changing them around. Had an extra piece of pipe that I had cut, and I kind of squeezed it in the vise until I got it square-ish. You know, square-ish. As you see, I beat that down in there almost completely. I've also squeezed the pipe a little more because you see it needs to kind of be on its side of the center line here. It's pretty damn close. You see that? So I think what I'm going to do next is port this other side out, but I got to let my air compressor sit for a little bit. It overheats it after so long. I'm also going to cut this piece flush, nice and flat. All right, let me get another piece that's a little taller or maybe a little shorter, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with this one. All right, and I'm going to get that down in there and get this all welded up to the flange really nice. Focus camera. There you go. So once I get it welded up to the flange really nice, I'll go take it outside. Right here, the Mustang. And cut these pipes off the proper length. One higher and one lower, and then I'll weld them on. Tack them on first. All right, as I tack them, I'll get a measurement, make sure it looks good. If it needs to be adjusted, cut the tack till I fix it, get it right, etc. Then we'll have it pretty much spot on ass lined up. This needs to be fairly level when we get it on the car, so the turbo will drain correctly. We don't want that summit not to drain right. So you want it as level as you can get it. And I'm going to have it as level as I can get it by doing it this way. So I'm going to get another piece of pipe, cut it, kind of line it up, and do this all over again. But it takes forever, so I'm probably going to stop this video here until I can get some more pieces. I'm also going to cut this after doing some more measuring here. I didn't like the angle of this pipe, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 1 inch out of this section here. And I'm going to weld it back together. And by doing 1 inch there, I should gain 1.25 inches here, getting them closer together. I want them to be more lined up than they are. A little more anyway. So that'll definitely help. Then we'll go from there on as far as getting our turbo on here and lining it up right. I ordered the turbo tonight. It's a lot of money. That's the only reason I haven't done it. So it's a whole bunch of stuff in the kit. Anyway, as soon as it gets here, we'll get it set on there, and we'll make sure it's sitting in the right spot also, because this may be all wrong. I may have to redo it, and that's perfectly fine if we do. This is the first time I ever made a hot side turbo kit, so you know what? If it didn't perfect, it didn't perfect. We'll just go with it until we get it where we want it. So we'll be back. Oh, also, hang on a second. Hey, new day, same thing. I'm going to get back to work on this hot side again. I got the compressor pumped up. I'm going to grind out one side. I've got the hot side to weld up and finish. I think I'm going to change that U-bend you see right there and make it a little smoother. Maybe. And let's get to work. Upon closer inspection, yes, I'm going to cut that out and replace it with this one. I just like the way this one looks a little better. I'm going to cut this down here. I'm going to cut this one in the middle right here. And I'm going to put the two together. I'm going to try to get a little closer to this pipe. If you remember, my flange only has like a 1/4 inch space in between these two pipes. Yeah, I think that'll work a little better. I need to save some room for this turbo because it's big. So let's get the saw out, cut this bitch, and get her welded up. All right, I think I've got it close to what I want here. Something like that. It looks a lot smoother and a lot cleaner on that transition. I'm getting really close over here. So I think I'm ready to tack this in place anyway. There we go. Pretty damn close, y'all. Not perfect, but that's okay. I can cut it flush and whatnot, but I mean, it's really close. So I think I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to tack it in and we'll see how it looks. All right, tacked in. That is so much better. Why didn't any of y'all assholes tell me to do that the first time? So now what I'm going to do is take this piece off, burn it in really well, smooth my welds out. Same thing with this one. I'm going to take this off, burn this in really well, smooth it out, put it all back in, double check my fit, and then I'll work on grinding the other part of the flange down with the air grinder. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I got this one here. Hammered it in really well from the last video. I'm going to make another one of these. Only thing I didn't do was I didn't crush this down far enough. So I'm going to crush it higher here. I just used the vise. Squeezed it. Squeezed it, squeezed it, squeezed it till I got it close, and I banged the shit out of it with a hammer. Ball peen hammer here. Some files. The air grinder. Some carbide bits. All that good shit. So we'll work on that after we get this other pipe burned in. And I think we'll go from there, guys. All right, got that one done. Much better. Look at that. That's 10 times better, right? I like it. All right, so let's pull this one off now. Burn that in real good. Buzz it down and make it look good. All right, I got my flange here that I've made one of, but I haven't welded or anything yet. Just trying to get an idea here of how I want to make it and how I want it to look. Well, I gotta tell you, this bottom piece here is just about lined up with what I want. You know, I'm thinking right about here is where the turbo needs to be height-wise. I want it on the frame about that height. And I gotta tell you, it's not too far off there, so maybe I'll drop it down a touch. But the more I drop down, the more I'm losing on my turbo drain for the oil line, which is going to go over there on the bottom of that oil pan on the corner right there on the flat spot. So I got to be mindful of that. I can't go too low. I also can't go too high. I'm going to hit the damn fender up here. That's why I haven't taken it off yet. I wanted to kind of try to get an accurate measurement of, you know, how much room I had in here. I always cut more shit out, I guess. At a certain point, you gotta kind of stop cutting stuff. So anyway, I'm thinking, you know, I'd really like it right around there. So I guess I'll leave this pipe at this height, and I'll just smooth this out, get it nice and flat, and try to mate it up with this surface here. And then I'm going to cut it off here, I guess, in this area, about here. And I'm going to cut them differently because I want enough room so I can weld both these pieces all the way around. And I feel like if I offset them, then I'll be able to weld this piece and that piece at the same time. Give myself a little bit more room to get in there and work on it. So just kind of my way of thinking there. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to work or not, but on my mental, it's in my head that it'll work. So I'm going to get to doing that now. All right, so I didn't cut the pipe off yet, but I did come in here and go ahead and put a bead down on this. Went ahead and smoothed it off with the flap wheel a little bit, just so I make sure I had enough room to get in here and work. I got really good penetration on all that, so it's good to go. I'm started grinding on this over here on this side, as you see with the die grinder a little bit, so I can get it open. Oh, excuse me, I can get it opened up and get the next piece of pipe in there. Not going to do that yet because it's like 1:30 a.m. now, and I need to stop because I'm pretty sure I'm going to piss some neighbors off to the point where they call the law. In the South, that's what they call the police. So I'm going to clean up a little bit of crap. Let's wrap this up and maybe get this shit uploaded. All right, so we'll get some more crap done soon. I've ordered the turbo. It's going to ship after TK or TX2, the Texas Car Show and Drag Strip Race. Anyway, all the vendors are down there, so they're all kind of running a little behind on the deliveries. No worries. It'll get here when it gets here. Till then, we'll just keep plugging away at stuff. We got other stuff to do, so here's a couple videos. Watch back on the series. Share with your friends. I appreciate it all. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.